Hello everyone. In the last session we developed the mapper and reducer classes. Now we have to go for the driver class, how to write the driver class. So for that we have to import the org.apache.hadoop.fs.path. Can you zoom it please here? So here we have to zoom, yeah. So org.apache.hadoop.fs.path. Here this is the path. We have to mention where the input is available, so that we have to mention here path. Okay, this is the class which handles the path of the Hadoop system. Okay, and then org.apache.hadoop.io.longwritable text MapReduce, and then MapReduce, inside that there is the file input format and file output format. What is the file input format, what is the file output format, that we have to mention clearly. Okay, and then we have to define the class word count driver. We are giving the name word count driver. You need not extend this from any other predefined class. We have to go for the word count driver. Now in this we can write the public static void main. In this we have to go for this, yeah. Now in this public static void main, in this we are giving the command line arguments. We are taking the command line arguments, yes we are taking, and then we have to provide two parameters. One is the input file name, and the second one is the destination. What is the destination? Meaning that where you have to write the output. Input and output you have to provide two parameters. So here we are checking that whether s.length is less than 2, that is not equal to 2, not equal to 2, then we have to raise the exception, otherwise we have to proceed. So because first parameter is the input, second parameter is the output. So and then here we are giving that job, we are creating a job object, job equal to new job. In the list of the steps in the writing the program, we have to create a job. So that is job new job of, and then set jar by class. This is why we have to mention this is where is the driver class available, that has to be mentioned clearly to understand by the all the machines where it is going to execute. So we are specifying that word count driver dot class. This is the main class. We are mentioning that this is the main class, and then job dot set job name. We are specifying the job name as the word count here, and then file input format dot. We are giving the file input format input. What is the input? For that we have to add input path. We have to add input path to this job, particular job. We have created the job object here. For the job we have to give the input, add the input path. And what is that? That is s of 0. We have given that as the command line argument. From that we are giving the first argument as the input path. Here it is the input path, new path of s of 0. So that will be given as the input file. And we have to set the output file also. What is the output directory? Actually it is the directory. So file output format dot set output path of job. Please remember that for input you have to give the add, for the output you have to set the output. So set the directory. So you have to give the new path of s of 1. This s of 1 should be unique, and you have to give every time whenever you are executing the program, you have to give the new directory name every time. Okay, now job dot set mapper class. What is the mapper class? For this program the mapper class is already we defined, that is word count mapper dot class, and then job dot set reducer class of. We are providing that reducer class name, we are providing that word count reducer dot class. We have to provide that. Okay, don't consider this, this is for another program. Okay, and then job.set output key class. What is the output key? The output key here, if you are mentioning this, this will be the output key and output value for both mapper and reducer. Okay, so set output key class of text. What is the output key? Word and the count, word and count. So because of that reason, output key is text, output value is long writable. So we are providing these two, and then we are running, we have to run the program, we have to start the execution of this job. For that we can use a method job.wait for completion. It will automatically submit the job and it will wait for the completion, and it will be displayed on the screen what is going on clearly. If you don't give that, there is another method also there, that is the job.submit. If you give that, it will just submit it. You will not know what is going to happen inside, what is happening inside, you don't know that. So that to track that what is going on, we have to give the system.exit of job.wait for completion of true, that we have to provide, so that whenever the job is completed, then it will exit from the program. So this is how to write the driver program. Now we have to go for the execution. How can we execute this? How can we execute this program? It is not like a simple execution of the Java program. It is a Hadoop environment. You have to execute this program on the Hadoop environment. So how can we execute the program in the Hadoop environment? That is, you can see that here, you can see that here, if you want to execute any program, then if you want to compile the program, how to compile the Java program? That is by using Javac. Already you know that, right? Javac, and then you have to mention, actually it is not a regular Java program. We included the Hadoop related libraries. So where those Hadoop related libraries are available, that we have to mention. That is by using the -class path parameter. Javac -class path, you have to mention where is that library available. That is available here in general in our Hadoop cluster, in our KMIT NGIT Hadoop cluster. We have the path, roughly it is /user /local /hadoop /share /hadoop. Inside that Hadoop common, some version is also there, 3.4 through 3.6.1 something will be there, .jar. And another jar file is also there for MapReduce, /user /local /hadoop /share hadoop, and then MapReduce.jar. You have to mention this, so that if you include these two jar files in our compilation, then your Hadoop related packages will be active, otherwise they will show you as the errors. So your program will not be compiled. And then you have to mention the Java file name, word count mapper.java. Then you will get, once if it is successfully compiled, you will get the word count mapper.class. You have to remember this, word count mapper.class. In the similar way, you have to compile the word count reducer.java also by using Javac -class path. You have to mention this, and then word count reducer.class will be created, and then Javac -class path you can mention this, and word count driver.java, it has to be compiled, so that you will get the word count driver.class will be generated. Now we have the class files, bytecode. We have the bytecode, but how can we execute this? If you want to execute the class file, simply you can give Java space, you are writing that program, right? You are executing the Java program by using Java space. But we have to execute the same program on the Hadoop environment. For that, we have to create a jar file. So for that creation of the jar file, can you zoom here please? Yeah, here. So jar file, for the jar file, if you want to create a jar file, there is a command jar -cvf okay, and then you have to provide the jar file name, what jar file you want to create. I am giving that word count.jar, and then word count mapper.class, word count reducer.class, and word count driver.class. These two class names, these three class files should be added to the jar file, so that jar file can be executed on the Hadoop environment. So once if you give that, you will get the word count.jar will be created. So in your directory you will get the word count.jar. Now you have to execute that on the Hadoop environment. So if you want to execute on the Hadoop environment, there is a command in the Hadoop shell, that is Hadoop jar. Hadoop jar word count.jar, the same file whatever we created. After that you have to mention backslash, you have to mention the main class name. What is which program is having the main class? Public static void main, that is in the word count driver. Word count driver is having the main class, the main method. So because of that reason we have to mention that clearly, and then you have to give the first parameter mytext.txt. This is the text file whatever you want to count the words in that text file, and the output will be stored in the, I want to store the output in the my output 1. In the first attempt you can give that. In the second attempt if you are giving the same program, then you have to change this my output 2, my output 3, and so on. Okay, so every time you have to give the new destination output. So this is the way of execution of the program in the Hadoop environment. So I hope you understand how to write the MapReduce application and how to compile it and how to execute. Theoretically it is okay, but practically you have to execute on the cluster. Then only you will understand how it is going to execute. So that another video, I will produce another video how to execute that program on the cluster. I will show you the cluster environment directly in that session. Thank you.